Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Solana's Shilling DeSci. Yes, you heard me right. I made a video on it yesterday, and most of you guys have probably seen it, but the official Solana account posted a 2-minute video of them shilling decentralized science, none other than Bioprotocol. Now we've seen Bioprotocol receive investments from Binance, get shilled by Solana, and we even saw the Phantom Wallet account in the comments of that video shilling DeSci as well, saying it's DeSci summer. We're going to go through all of that today. We're going to go through all of the ecosystem of Bioprotocol. Even though most of you guys probably already know it, it's good to get a little refresher. And then, of course, we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Currently speaking, Bitcoin is at $112,881 per coin. It is attempting to find support here at the lower range of this channel that it's been in, but it doesn't look like it's going to, not at least on the hourly. If you go to the daily chart, it looks a little bit better, but honestly, not that much better. It really doesn't. It looks like it just got rejected without even making it up to the previous support line. So we'll see how Bitcoin ends up playing out here in the short term. Long term, we are golden for at least the next 6 weeks. Until September 17th, when the Fed cuts rates, I believe we are in pure up only season. Now, obviously today, that's not very strong of an argument, but I think everyone's about to violently reprice the idea of rate cuts in the economy. Dynex is looking strong AF. Yesterday, they had a crazy strong rally off the 200-day moving average and are now just holding up here at $8 million in market cap, which is the previous high from a couple days ago. So Dynex looking really, really good here. Exactly what we wanted to happen is happening. The only next goal here would be to not get rejected here and form a double top, and instead just keep pushing a little bit higher and a little bit higher. All right, let's get back into it though. So you're looking at Bitcoin getting rejected a little bit. Ethereum also getting rejected a little bit. Ethereum not looking too great on the short term because of the rejection here of the moving average. I do believe Ethereum needs one more major sell-off before we can really get going again. So if you look at the RSI, you'll see we came down and touched 50 and then got pretty overheated really quickly. And then it's coming back down again. I think that we will see the RSI tip into the 30s, maybe the mid 40s, while the price maintains the same. And then if that's what ends up taking place, then I think we'll continue to move forward on the uptrend here. But either way, for Ethereum, I do believe we need to come down and have another leg down, possibly down into the $3,100 or $3,200 area, which would not be the end of the world. It would be a very crystal clear stair-stepping pattern. Nothing bad would come from that. It would just be a good little reset before we get that next leg up to new all-time highs. Project Don't Sell gone now. What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense, but you're saying someone sold Cymark. People can take their money whatever they want, you know? Cymark yesterday or a couple days ago had a pretty big sell. It wasn't that crazy compared to the size. It's just such a small market cap and it's very illiquid, so it's going to move a ton. But genuinely, none of those IP tokens, which are part of the bio ecosystem, none of them are things that I care if they go up or down in the short term. Those are all super long-term plays that have opportunities to make outsized returns like no one's ever seen. But we talk about it all the time. So you guys are super familiar with my thesis on the bio IPTs. We also saw a post that I made, although we should go through the whole Solana shilling DeSci stuff first. So let's go ahead. W Dynex, W David, let's go, baby, let's go. All right, so if we come through here, we'll see Bioprotocol. I posted it yesterday. It is a 30-minute video that I posted on X. I'll post it here on YouTube as well today, just so that everyone can be familiar with what's going on and get the same content from me. But 35% of the DeSci market cap just received the public endorsement from Solana. And if you come here, you'll see the video right here. Absolutely crazy. I'm certain all of you guys saw it because it is going pretty viral for the crypto space, especially in DeSci. It's a whole video dedicated to DeSci. Then we get Phantom saying DeSci Summer, which is also just as huge. Then we got here Solana responding to people saying, not sure anyone has figured that out yet, boss. Brian Johnson's trying his best out here though. Teach me how to beat death. That's the whole point of Pump.Science. And part of Pump.Science is the total ecosystem of coins, which they mention in this video. Bioprotocol, the BioDAOs, Curetopia, because it was the first, and Rare Diseases was the first BioDAO on Solana. And then they mentioned the BioIP tokens and Pump.Science, because Pump.Science is really the biggest thing on Solana for DeSci. And Pump.Science also just got a crazy push with all of the compounds that launched. If we go over to my page here on X, I just posted, you gotta go back one more, this right here, which is the DEX screener link that contains all of the compounds that got listed on Pump.Science. It is only containing the compounds which have made it off the bonding curve. So let me say it again. Only the compounds that are off of the bonding curve are on this list because the other ones are not yet off of Pump.Science's platform. So if you want to buy something or get involved in something that has not yet made it off the bonding curve, you're not going to find it here. But if you only want to get into things that have made it off the bonding curve, you can get in here. On a 24-hour basis, we have Spermin up the most, which is kind of a hilarious name, up 119% to an astonishing $50,000 market cap. Then we have Troll up 107%. We have Melatonin up 81%. We have Palm Tea up 60%. Wrap up 54%. Gin 2 up 51%. So things are really moving pretty substantially. A little bit of pullbacks in some of the micro cap ones, but nothing to be too worried about considering how tiny they all are. Hopefully you guys all took part of the Pump Science launch and are sitting pretty no matter what these compounds do. Absolutely crazy time to be alive. So right now, why, you might be wondering to yourself, right? Why is it that Solana chose right now to bull post DeSci? I feel like my hair's getting a little bit rowdy here. You might be asking yourself, why is it that out of all the times to do it, why did Solana choose right now to post about Bioprotocol? And that's because Bioprotocol just launched their V2 ignition sale, BioXP, and staking. So in a nutshell, Bioprotocol is going to be launching an AI agent very shortly. Very shortly. Could be in the next couple of days, could be in the next week or two maximum. And in order to gain access to that launch, you need to have BioXP. And you need to use your BioXP to gain access to a certain sized allocation into that AI agent. The total FDV of that AI agent is going to be $205,000 when it launches, okay, when that raise goes on. Then it's supposed to launch at 600,000 or something. So it's going to have a 3x immediately. This is going to be the first AI agent from Bioprotocol, and it's going to be a banger. So watch carefully and stay tuned and make sure you get a slot in there because it's probably going to be a really good launch. Yeah, they also have the realignment of incentives for everyone where they're, instead of doing dynamic raises, they're going to do static raises. And again, go watch the video that I posted on it because it's 30 minutes explaining the entirety of what is changing here, and it's well worth the watch. The allocation is going to be dependent on your BioXP, but no more than 0.05% of the supply if you are a super whale, basically. And they are allocating 37% of the supply to 37.5% of supply to the raise. The raise goal of 77,000 and $205,000 FDV. Bills sell off. People don't know what they're missing. Well, it's the market right now, guys. Things are moving and everything looks really good for a great setup, but price isn't really responding too well. Price is not yet really responding. And it's possible people are waiting for those rate cuts officially. My expectations are that as we get closer and closer to the rate cut, that money will start leaching into the markets pretty quickly. Right now, there's still room for debate. We still have a whole nother cycle of news and economic data that needs to come out on that monthly basis, and that could alter the expectations of rate cuts. So right now, we're expecting a rate cut in September, but we still have 6 weeks of news to come out that could change that. So people are still hesitant a little bit to get into it. The market is not in pure euphoria mode, which should be a good sign for everyone because that tells us that we still have a lot of room to go. People are still nervous. You go look at total crypto market cap. We're sitting at 3.65 trillion. I think that we will absolutely skyrocket up to at least the upper end of this channel, maybe even up into the golden circle that I drew like years ago. What are your top 5 cryptocurrency investments? That is not something that I can answer, Cordell. I appreciate you asking, but that's not something I can answer. You can know that all of my crypto investments are in DeSci, sparring maybe like 10 or 15% of the portfolio, right? But like 85% of my money is in decentralized science. So just pay attention to what I say throughout DeSci and you'll probably understand where most of my money is because that's where I'm going to be talking about the most. The show is fire. Let's go, Cordell. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate that. W. Cordell. Okay, but if you guys want to take part in that raise, right? If you guys want to take part in the future raises that are happening in the bio ecosystem, if you want to start farming more and more bio XP points, basically the idea, and again, watch that video that I posted, the idea is that you gather all of your bio ecosystem plays, okay? Whether that's bio token, whether that's VitaDAO, CryoDAO, AthenaDAO, ValleyDAO, HairDAO, any of them. And Rare Disease, Curetopia, Quantum Biology DAO. There's a couple more of them, right? All of them, even the upcoming ones. You take all those, okay? You stake them. You lock them up for an extended period of time. You stake those tokens. And then you go and you take the bio IP tokens that we all are co-owners in, and you stake those as well, right? If you stake bio, something you should notice is that there's a lockup period. You need to wait, and there's no early withdrawal. The other ones, it's just a 2-week cooldown. But you take everything that is in the bio ecosystem, except for the pump science molecules, I believe, and you lock them, and you earn bio XP. And then you can use that bio XP to gain allocations into these AI agent pre-sales and some of the other pre-sales. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm a fan of it. Now, you'll notice this website, app.bio.xyz/bioxp. You can go ahead to the dashboard that you will see all of the stats on bio and their total ecosystem to get more details. SpineDAO and MycoDAO are the two I forgot about. But you go ahead and click on and see all the details of the full ecosystem and everything that's in it. And then you even see some information on the tokenized IP right here, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Like that chart's gonna grow like you've never seen something grow in due time. But once you've linked everything, your X account and your wallets and everything, you can go to earn your bio XP and just go ahead and claim your bio XP once you've logged in. Because they want to reward people retroactively, they're doing retroactive bio XP. And so if you've ever partook in a pre-sale or you ever partook in anything in the bio ecosystem, you get a little bit of retroactive bio XP. And if you talk about bio on socials, you will also get bio XP. So they are taking a card or a page from the book of the InfoFi narrative that's been going on with Kaito and everything, and they're implementing it into bio. So Yap to earn is now a thing again. What's good, Bobby? What's the best period to stake those tokens? I don't know, man. That's totally up to you. There is another thing, and again, watch the video, but there's an auto relocking period. So Do it in a time period that you're going to remember to come back and check. There are options to lock them up for 4, 12, 24, 54 weeks. Hell yeah. Any thoughts on AXGT? Any thoughts on Tau subnets? Cordell, I can tell this is your first time here, but W. I like Axon. I think Axon's a good play for sure. It's getting suppressed a little bit here, and I'm curious as to why it's getting so suppressed. But I like Axon. I think over the remainder of this bull market, I do think it will go print new highs. I think that there's a really strong chance that goes back above $1. So from 7 cents to $1, especially if we get the golden cycle where everyone is focused in on DeSci, I think that it will absolutely make it back to $1. And I love BitTensor subnets. I think they're ingenious. I love BitTensor. BlackRock's AI portfolio for crypto is like 30% Tau. So to do that, do with that information as you wish. But everyone who knows something about AI and crypto is bullish on BitTensor, and BitTensor is really only where it's at because of the subnets. The subnets give a lot of the power to BitTensor. It showcases what's possible with decentralized AI. And so the subnets I'm super bullish on. The AI agent layer on top of the subnets that's being created by Creator Bid, I think is even more bullish. I've been looking into subnet for Agent Bill so that Bill can do some simulated protein folding and start launching compounds on Pump Science. So that's the next endeavor now that we've launched the dashboard and starting to roll out some of the partnerships with other DeSci narratives for Bill. We're doing the marketing round right now. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like I repeat the same stuff all the time. So retail is not here yet. I agree, David. Retail I do think is here. I just don't think that they're as excited. I don't think everyone has the same flushed out liquidity that they used to. Like, I think that retail is here. I just don't think that we have the same money that we used to. And more importantly, all that money that is there is going into Bitcoin. We need this to fall. This needs to fall, not raise. That needs to go down. Let's go to the weekly and see if we can see the... Uh-oh. Did they change one of the symbols here? They got rid of one of the symbols, and I don't know which one it is. Oh. There it is. I don't know how much of it to delete. Probably just to there, maybe? Nope. Okay. I don't know how to get that back right now, so we'll take it with a grain of salt, but it seems that most of the global liquidity... Do we still have the liquidity here if I were to do that? Ah, they got rid of the liquidity. Okay. Oh well. Global liquidity is up, yes, but it's not necessarily in the hands of retail. Of course, Cordell, I will always answer the questions, even if I do complain a little bit about answering them. I am happy that you asked the questions, and I'm always here to answer them, even if I do complain just a wee bit. But again, everything looks really good, and I would definitely encourage you guys to go experiment with the Bio ecosystem and try and get as much of the XP as you can. Bio, even though the chart has not looked super good, has been super good to us, right? We got into initially, and we're going to get rewarded for doing this, but the first time we got in was around 3 cents on the pre-sale. And if you got in on that pre-sale, you're going to get retroactive Bio XP. And when it launched, we were up 2,500%. And that is a very common story in DeSci. We consistently hit a lot of these pre-sales, but if you don't get in on the pre-sale, a lot of times what we were seeing is that drop, right? That's a big drop, guys. Make no mistake. People who got in over here lost a lot of money. We're still up. but that's because we've been paying attention dramatically, right? It got really elevated because of that Binance investment news. That Binance investing made it go crazy in the pre-market, and then they ICO'd and it absolutely fell off a cliff. Now they're reworking the whole model to stop charts from looking like this again. So the bio ecosystem suffers the very similar fate on a lot of the charts, that if you don't get in on the pre-sale, the odds are it's going to fall off rip. And they're trying to change that with this new economic model. So I'm really excited to see how it goes from here. I really am. And again, if you guys are not familiar with the IP NFTs, which are the best risk to reward assets in the entirety of crypto, I'll pull them up right now. Not Catalyst, not Molecule. While Perplexia is a good one, I think it's going to end up being no. Molecule XYZ. Right here. These suckers. They added all of the Pump Science ones here as well. But if you go ahead and just get off of Solana and just click on Base or something, you'll see a lot of the bio IP tokens. Base and Ethereum. There are some on Solana, but most of the ones on Solana are just the Pump Science molecules, which are really good, and I honestly think will outperform all the other ones in the short term. But yeah, there are some that are on Solana that are not just Pump Science, but also there's even more than this, right? I don't see DMTE. I don't see DMTE anywhere. And there's more. And there's SciMark at 1,200. So still looking good though. $66,000 market cap. My guess is somebody here who rode this up a little bit, like maybe this guy, sold so that they could go into the Pump Science stuff, the Pump Science sales. If you've been watching SciMark and want to get in on something that I think will honestly perform better than the actual Sci token, this would be one of them. This is probably going to be one of those sleepers that just absolutely put, like, the token itself goes to something like $100,000, which would be absolutely hilarious. Good morning, Spec Truth. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, now, if we keep going through DeSci, while everyone's having a ton of fun in the Pump Science ecosystem right now, I do want to bring everyone's attention to some of the other golden opportunities within decentralized science. You have very, very solid contenders, very strong plays here, like Poseidon. I keep wanting to say Poseidon DAO, but they've rebranded to just Poseidon. But funding personal healthcare. We have Spec Truth in the chat here, who's also going to be launching his own project, his own DAO, Spec Truth DAO. So there are a lot of players in DeSci that are not part of the bio ecosystem family. In fact, a majority of DeSci is not part of the bio ecosystem family. It's just that roughly 35% of DeSci is bio ecosystem family. So it makes a lot of sense to talk about it, and you just capture a lot of the market share. But think things like Poseidon. This is a very clear pattern of stair-stepping back up to get back up to all-time highs. I think it will absolutely make it there. You go look at Noble. Noble is about to be launching a new thing that I can't really say anything about. They relaunched the token, had a little bit of fun time, and then it collapsed as everyone just grabbed their money and left. But either way, I'm still bullish on Noble. I'm still hanging on to my Noble. I will not sell my Noble. I will not buy my Noble. I will not touch it. It's just going to sit there, and I'll come back to it in a couple years to see how it's doing. I know that's not what people really love, but that's what I'm doing. Go look at things like Axon. We already talked about Axon. What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Do you guys have questions? Do you guys want to talk about anything specifically? Want to see debt relief bot down today. Okay. Body protective compound, BPC 157, literally the most popular peptide on all of social media, and you get to actually own part of the experiments with it. It's going to go hard. What else? Sponsored by H2O. I know. Sponsored by H2O. Even though I finished all the water. Someone should launch Kratom. That would be hilarious, MK. That would be very funny. Literally just launching an opioid derivative. No, I'm telling you guys. And somebody hit me up in the DMs. I have a ton of ideas for things to launch, but I need help doing it. I have too many things going on. I need to make content. I need to work on Bill. I need to push Bill. I need to have Bill figure out how to launch his own compounds. And if I don't launch these elsewhere, I'm going to be launching them through Bill, and I will just build the infrastructure to have Bill come out with his research reports and then automatically launch them on his own. But I have so many ideas for compounds in my head that I have not seen anyone touching on. Everyone's looking, and no shame to any of the compounds. I think that a lot of them are going to do really, really well. Really well. But everyone is focused on finding these novel, unique compounds when we have so many that already exist, that are we already know work. Like NAD+, we already know works. Berberine, we already know works. Let me see it. It's burp, right? Burp. We already know these compounds work. Yeah. It's going to go hard. We already know RAP. RAP works. They're going to go hard. We already know BPC 157 works. It's going to go hard. We already know vitamin C and vitamin B12 work really good. This mixture is going to go super hard. It's $22,000 market cap. It's going to be a crazy one. What else is there? We already know caffeine works. You know, caffeine's going to get those mice amped up, baby. Caffeine's going to get those mice amped up. What else is out there? Troll, only 1L. It's going to be a very, very interesting time. Thike. Thike works. I take Thike. NAK, which is really NAD plus. NAK here is going to work so good. This one, I think people are sleeping on big time. NAK, this mixture of compounds is literally one of the most viral longevity supplements on all of TikTok. NAD+. It's going to go so hard. At least write them down. I know, I do need to write them down. Do you use a trading bot to get into the pump science compounds? No, Bobby. You know, I don't think you need a trading bot. It's $72,000 in market cap. I don't think you need a trading bot to get in. Look at, let's go to pump science, right? Let's pause this. Let's organize this by market cap, and let's just take a look. This is a $14,000 market cap. I don't think you need a trading bot to get in. You get in super low. You go look at berberine. Quartz here, $17,000 market cap. Even these guys, even the big dogs, the ones that have already run, a $300,000 market cap. I don't like. You can get into that, watch it go to 30 million and make 100x. You know, you get into BPC 157, which again stands for Body Protective Compound, and you watch it go from a $66,000 market cap up to a $6 million market cap, and you got 100x. You go look at berberine and whatever, I keep forgetting how to pronounce the name, and it's too close to me, feeling like I'm saying something inappropriate. Burp, $141,000 market cap. It had the hardest run up right off launch. It went the furthest. It's got good potential to go crazy here. You know, where's RAP? RAP is number one. RAP is literally number one. Thike came out of Thike is from, what is that? They were talking about it in the DeSci, the Diamond members chat. Right here, black seed oil. Black seed oil is the compound from Thike. It is one of the most effective longevity supplements. Like these are going to go hard AF. Spermin, That's just a funny name. $50,000 market cap. You get that, you watch it go to 5 million and you make 100x. I see how Poseidon DAO as a project could be worth 50 million, but I just don't really see the value in holding the token right now. There's no real interesting incentive in buying for newbies. Yeah, it's more of just being part of the DAO stare. Why do you have such strong conviction in Noble? One, because I've been working with the founder of Noble since day one, since before he even launched it. And so I've seen it go from just an idea to a fully functioning platform that's been out for a little while. Now to go work on onboarding some of the researchers to use it. There's really only two players in the field for what Noble does, and it's ResearchCoin and Noble. And so while I don't agree with everything that the team behind Noble has done, I think that over the long term, if they continue to just work and develop and evolve the platform, it will be a pretty big contender in the whole space. So I am bullish on Noble. I've put a disgusting amount of money into it, and I'm just going to let it ride. I'm just going to let it ride. It either works out or it doesn't, but I have money in ResearchCoin and I have money in Noble. The upside in Noble is significantly higher than ResearchCoin because it's such a small market cap, but I want to make sure that I just have some money in both of them because the overall market share for the academic publications space is in the trillions of dollars. And so I want in. I want in on this next narrative, this next move for it. Didn't get into Thike early. I made a 9x on Wrap and a 6x on Troll. It's crazy because these are just the beginning, dude. These are literally just the beginning. Going up to a $300,000 market cap on Wrap, like it literally just started. Same thing with Troll, $175,000 market cap. Like most people feel early if they can get in at prices this low, and we're getting in all the way down at the bare bones of these things. W for Bill. Let's go, Vibra. And then back to what you said, Stare. The token itself does not really reward the holder in any way, apart from supporting science. Of course, the token alone just does not have any attractive value to it, only the speculation, but no return. Well, that's the whole model behind the DAO, though, Stare. You get into the DAO token, you use it to vote on whether or not you use the DAO's treasury to fund some research. Then the results of that research, either in Poseidon DAO's case, if you go look at the last one, the last thing that they funded, and let's go over there. You go look at the, sorry, my hair keeps tickling me. You go look at the last thing that Poseidon DAO funded, and it was Nephronet here. So the proposal passed. So Poseidon DAO used the treasury to commit $70,000 to Nephronet to spot kidney disease early using AI, right? Of course. The organization secures 2% equity and 3% patent revenue share. So the treasury is receiving the money from that. The 3% revenue share goes back to the treasury. The 2% equity goes back into the treasury. And so then by owning the governance rights over that, you gain arguably the most important part of owning something. You go look at why. This is going to get a little bit more introspective here, and I want you guys to listen close to what I'm saying, okay? When you go look at what's happening in the world from a standpoint of the direction that the world is going, you'll see that in many different circumstances, the world is headed into this weird kind of dystopian future in where profits are maximized at the expense of the individual. And I know that you guys know what I'm talking about when you go look and see that BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street own just about everything in the entire world, right? They're the shareholders. It's like, I'm working to make shareholder value more. They're the shareholders. Why is it that they have that power and that ability to steer the global economy and every single sector in the world? It is because of the invention of index funds, where the average person sacrificed the ability to govern what happens at the companies for the monetary gain, right? DAOs are a bit of a different vehicle here, where you're actually purchasing the governance ability of whatever it is you're buying, right? So if you put your money in an index fund, you're giving up the ability to govern to the mega corporations like Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. In this scenario with Poseidon DAO, you are still hanging on to the ability to govern what happens to that DAO. So as Poseidon DAO grows, you are also going to get to shape the future of personalized medicine through this DAO. And so I understand that the incentive structure necessarily, maybe you don't agree with the idea of receiving PO tokens for voting with your PSI token and then exchanging the PO tokens out for more PSI tokens or whatever merch you want, whatever that exchange is that they offer. Maybe you don't agree with that. That's a strong enough incentive model. I think the incentive itself is getting to dictate which direction personalized medicine goes over the long term. And so by partaking in all of these DAOs, you actually get a say in what happens. And so Poseidon DAO, they've funded 2 research studies so far. The rare disease one, the first one they did with the rare compute looks like it's going really good so far. And then we haven't really gotten any updates from Nephronet yet, but I feel like this is an easy enough thing to do. Obviously, I don't know because I'm not doing it, but I feel like doing kidney disease, using AI to diagnose early kidney disease, like that's one of the things AI has been really good at, is with those MRI scans and everything. So I think it'll be really easy to prove that this is successful. And they can make a really strong tool to then extend into the healthcare industry with it. Either way, I think it's going to be a banger. It's just that in decentralized science, you have to adjust your timelines and adjust your timeframes. And while stuff like pump science, these are going to be bangers for the next 3 to 6 months. Things like PsyDAO are bangers for the next 3 to 6 years, right? And so you have to have a balanced portfolio. Otherwise, you're not a strong investor. You're not. So you got to pick your long-term investments. You got to pick your short-term trades. You got to choose. But the God honest truth about pump science here with all of these is that aside from the ones that end up being king of the pill, the rest of them are going to be irrelevant in 3 to 6 months, because they will have gone through all of the research studies. And while they will have contributed to the broader expansive landscape of research on longevity supplements, which we don't really have any research there, so they'll have served their purpose, but there will be no real reason to hold these tokens in 3 to 6 months. And that's not to say that you shouldn't hold them right now, and you shouldn't play the game, and you shouldn't get involved, and you shouldn't try and launch some to beat out and figure out which one's going to be the best longevity supplement out there. That's not no, that should be happening, and it's fun, and you get to partake in it, and you get to experience true decentralized science. Poseidon DAO is just on a different time scale. And that goes the same for things like Axon. It's the same for things like Data Lake. It's the same for things like Noble Blocks. It's the same for things like Research Coin and Bio Protocol and these IP tokens and so on and so forth. You got to have that healthy mixture. And I know I'm rambling a bit on that one, but hopefully the point gets across to you guys. And I'm not the one to say what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. I'm just here to tell you my opinion and keep you guys posted. And I keep you guys posted on my opinion and the information as it comes Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto markets. Bill. Let's go, Bill. Planning on supporting Agent Bill. Let's go, Bobby. I love that. Love that. I reached out to, speaking of Bill, we launched the platform. It's live. People can use it. We're going to start onboarding more and more partners in the near future. Right now, number one priority, making sure everyone knows about Bill. Yes, you heard me right. I've reached out. I've already started paying for several different KOL rounds and marketing rounds. I've put a good chunk of, I'm doing 50-50 ETH tokens. The ETH I took from the treasury, the tokens are mine. I'm matching the ETH from the treasury to go get people to shill Bill and get the word out. And so if you guys have ever been interested in Bill, if you guys have ever supported something that's going on the channel, if you guys have ever taken part or wanted to help with Agent Bill, now is the time to get the word out and get the social attention going, because that's how we're going to get these partnerships moving. We need everyone in decentralized science to want to adopt Bill into their DAO's ecosystem as a supporting agent. And so make sure you're supporting Bill right now. You're pushing him. You're getting the word out as best you can. You're just talking, just yap, just talk. All right? Now is the time, ladies and gentlemen. Especially as the market's pushing. I mean, the market's dumping today, but you guys get what I'm saying. We're going to get a good time in the market to get everything moving. It's going to be like... I do think it'll be that strong of a thing. We got a little bit more downward momentum to go for stuff like ETH, and then all the way until the Fed rate cut decision. I think that will honestly push up to like 5,500, maybe even 6,000. Good morning, Shill Bill. Let's go, Beagle. Let's go. We are all early to DeSci. What an amazing time. I could not agree more, my guy. I could not agree more. 4 days until the full moon. Let's go, baby. The last drop before the full moon pump. We'll see. Like, yeah, BitTensor going to be an easy play in hindsight. But one of those mega caps, one of those super large ones. BitTensor is the Solana of this cycle. We just want to see that change up happen. Getting the word out about Bill. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. W Bobby. W Bobby. All of these, guys, I'm just like, I have not been this excited about DeSci in a very long time. And hopefully you guys are equally as excited. I know it's been a brutal time in the market, but you go look at DeSci right now, we're up 5% to $650 million in market cap. It is just getting started. Now we're down 2% to $617 million in market cap. Things are just getting started. Truly. Let's go look at the 1 week time frame. Not a lot of movement. Honestly, not a lot. DeSci SUI agents up 19% today to $110,000 market cap. I got burned so bad on that. I lost like almost 10 G's on this thing. Fucking SUI agents. Dynex, baby. Dynex finally coming back to life. You see this chart? It looks brutal. It was brutal. It was extremely brutal. But now we go to the log chart and you see it and it's like, okay, all right. We're seeing some movement. You're seeing some excitement. Let's get this thing back up to $1. It's almost at 10 cents. We only have 1,000% left to go. It's really... Hold on, let me yawn. It's that AI, or not that AI, it's that quantum computing mania that's going on in the market right now. You go look at qubits, QBTS. Everyone's looking for the next type of qubits stock. Qubits is running. D-Wave. They do basically what Dynex does, but Dynex does it a little bit better. But D-Wave is worth like $5 billion. Dynex is worth like 7 million. So there's a very big discrepancy here. And a lot of it's just because it's quantum computing with crypto. So it's like people think it's even more risky, which I get. It definitely is. But it's working. And that's all that really matters. And it's above my head. And I will keep it above my head for who knows how much longer, honestly. You know, I was supposed to be an ambassador for Dynex. I should literally made my entire thing say Dynex and everywhere. They were supposed to give me a banner that I put behind it. They never did. They never did any of that. I was supposed to go get paid to be an ambassador. Never once did I receive anything. It was never guaranteed, but I think it was extremely heavily implied. And I didn't say anything. I haven't complained at all. because I truly believe that Dynex is a superior technology to most of what we see in the market, if not everything we see in the market. And so I'm happy to continue to endorse something just completely for free, because I genuinely do believe that neuromorphic quantum computing is the stepping stone that we need to get from classical computing into quantum computing. It's not fully, completely genuine quantum computing, but it also doesn't matter because it works better than classical computing, and you don't need the infrastructure for quantum computing. You have that neuromorphic or that simulated quantum computing, and it allows you to do quantum annealing, and it allows you to do quantum algorithms and just use quantum theories in practice, which is crazy. Either way, it's doing good. It's doing good lately. It has not always been the case, but you should. It's up 227%. Low key, I'm not saying that I know what everyone's cost basis is, but this should be around what your average cost basis is for Dynex, because we didn't start getting into this thing until it was somewhere around, I think right when it broke down here is when I first started talking about it, and I bought a little bit, but I didn't really start buying until it broke below 25 cents, and then I bought like crazy through that whole downturn, and it hurt my wallet a lot. But you should be getting close to or above a break even. Link to Bill's dashboard. Bill's dashboard is app.DeSciGuy.com. And we'll continue to update and move the dashboard as much as I can, but it shows you the overall engagement and excitement around different DeSci projects out there. I have to make sure that I get the upgrade going, or the update going, probably today for all the other channels. Yeah, all the other channels in the Pump Science Telegram channel, right? Because there's a channel for every single one of the compounds now, and so all those messages are there. I just have to show them. They're all in the database here. I just have to actually show I have to go through and show them, so I have to update everything a little bit. But yeah, surprised you're not yet a Dynex ambassador. Well, I just said that I was, Bobby, right above my head. I just went on a whole rant actually saying that I was a Dynex ambassador, but what I said, I'm not getting paid to be a Dynex ambassador, but I am a Dynex ambassador. Finally back even on Dynex. Let's go, David. David. And I think it's just getting going, really. Like I said, Dynex is like, my circles are way up here for a reason. Dynex is a $100 coin trading down at 7 cents. Now, I don't know that it's going to possibly get up to $100 here. I think that that is not something to expect. But I do think that we do have a really strong likelihood of breaking 10 bucks. I really do. Really do. Which means you got a good solid 100x from here. The absolute bare minimum, we break above all-time highs. That is without a doubt. By the end of this year, we will be above all-time highs. My expectation, though, is that we get closer to that $10 area. And I think in a long enough time horizon, so long as Dynex actually does ship on those room temperature quantum computing chips, I think that we're well above $100. Well above $100. Because this is 7 million, 8 million at this price, which means 8 cents would be 80 million, which means 80 cents would be 80 million, right? A dollar would be a billion, or, oh my God. 8 cents is 8 million. 80 cents is 80 million. $8 would be 800 million, which means a $10 Dynex is a $1 billion project. And this is easily a $10 billion project, given a long enough time horizon. Glad you cleared it up. Of course, Bobby. Anytime, my guy. I need to wait to be even, but I know it will fly one day. Let's go, Johnny. Let's go. How is it going to be now with the launch of new pump science compounds? I don't know. It's going to be each pump science compound is its own project from now on out, basically. So they'll get a little bit of a ride from the hype of people around pump science looking for the next compound, but each one is going to be its own project. So you're going to have to go through and research the team behind it, figure out how likely is it that the compound is going to dethrone King of the Pill. And the experiments start, I think, today, don't they? Oh yeah, I forgot they have leverage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Things are about to get pretty insane actually, because you can do 3x leverage on all of the pump science compounds. Be careful. Hey, AA, you redacted your message, and I'm just here to let you know that that's not allowed. You have to retype it. I want to know what that message was. Hi, no. Say it again right now. Mods, someone undelete his message. I need to know what it is. What did you say? God damn it. Space Wednesday, that's tomorrow at noon. Okay. You rat bastards. We go live at noon, so unfortunately it can't go live there. Maybe I just do my live stream there with them, because they're going to definitely want me to go there. There you go. Come put the AI and DeSci. The worms join us August 7th. Master the worms and you'll master the market. There won't be more of these. It's open access now, Beagle. You can launch a compound right now on Pump Science if you want to. Launch compound. You log into your account and go through the process of filling out the form to get approved to launch the compound. But guess what? The approval is going to be very easy. They have a lab in Switzerland which will approve just about any compound to be tested on mice and flies. The worms lab is still in America, so that's going to be a little bit more stringent on what compounds get approved. But if you and I wanted to go see if microdosing meth was a good longevity experiment, we could go submit it here. And they told us explicitly that the odds are the lab in Switzerland would approve anything to get tested on these creatures, so long as it's not to intentionally harm the animals. But if you have a good little report put together on why you think microdosing fentanyl is a good idea for longevity, you can test it through Pump Science. Okay? Now, microdosing fentanyl, they're probably not going to approve that, right? But the idea is there. If you think that you want to go test psilocybin, you can. And we actually just saw a bunch of research saying that psilocybin was a good longevity supplement. If you want to go test ketamine, which again, we have a lot of research suggesting ketamine is a good longevity supplement, just in small doses, right? You can do it on Pump Science. So it's open access. Anyone can launch anything. And I'm working right now. You said it, not us. I'm working right now to give Bill the ability to launch the compounds through Pump Science. So they have API endpoints that they haven't made totally open to the public yet, but because Bill partnered with them already, I'm working with them. I haven't gotten the API access yet, but I'm working to give Bill the infrastructure to do it, because I think it'll be really effing cool if we got Bill to interact with you guys, have you guys suggest something to Bill to launch, have him put together a research report on it, and then go forward and launch it on Pump Science. That would be so cool. That is a lot of work to get done, but I kind of want to do it. So if you guys want to help me with that, I would love the assistance there. Right now, the goal is to market Bill. Right now, the goal for Bill is to market him and get him out to the public, because it's game on, baby. It's game on. All right, guys. If you guys have any final questions for me, I should love to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to depart and get back to working on things for Bill. Let's see right now, what am I going to say? Fed futures. If you guys did not see the updated Fed futures, you can see them right here. That the next Fed meeting on September 17th has now got a 90% likelihood of rate cuts. This is really cool. Remember what I said. I think we rally into September 17th and then we sell off, because, hey, why are they cutting rates if the economy's strong? Why cut rates if everything looks good? You don't. You only cut rates if things look sketchy. So let's rally into the idea of more liquidity and then sell off once you get the actual implications of what that means. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me, and I will see you all on tomorrow's live stream. Make sure you're shilling DeSci.